designer even now. What I hate is I don't like sweeping the floors and I don't like washing the dishes. That's what I don't like. Otherwise, I have done practically everything and anything. And when I got married, I was alone, my husband and myself, with three grown-up, my age group. My husband was also nearly my age group. So there were three of my brothers-in-law and four men with one woman. I was the queen in that house, you see. I think that was the best time I had. Fun, all around the clock. That is what we had.
Right, so which means that this is the very right choice. The month of women, we are talking about a woman who is talking about a lady who, helped us nurturing, flourishing and to empowering us here today. Great. Ma'am, as you are a very successful entrepreneur, mashallah, I and definitely the others would love to know about it. That what made you to open up this Iqra Academy chapters and what was the reason behind it? And was it difficult for you being a lady, a mom, full-time 24 hours responsibilities of holding a house and looking after?
When I started, I told you that there was nothing in my life except fun. Yes. I had so much energy in me, I wanted to do something. So it took me 3 years to convince my husband that if I start a school, start working, the heavens are not going to fall. My parents, my father was an enlightened man. He was, he never objected to it. He rather supported me. My mother was behind me like a force. My elder brother, oh my God, that's another story. He said that if you start working, then make sure that we'll cut you off from our family ties with you. I said, okay, okay, Bhaiji, no problem. That's it. So once my husband agreed to it, I started school. How we started? It was basically just a club sort of a thing. We had some property. So two of my cousins and myself, we thought that we would start a nursery sort of thing with baking, cooking, macrame, stitching, you name it. Ladies should come in and have cup shop and the children can
kind of a social club.
Yes, yeah. and the children can be looked after.
Right.
During that time, a delegation from the Department of Education, they came and they asked questions and they would bring a survey or something. We didn't know. We didn't take them seriously because we were not serious about our work as leader. So after some time when we got the report, and it was surprising that out of nearly 137 schools that they had visited, we were judged the best managed school. Oh my God, we thought we are talented and we didn't know. So what we did was, the next year, we left that place of our own, we hired a bigger building on the main Mansera Road, and then there was no looking back.
Great.
There was no looking back. Once I started working, then for me, work was not something that came after my family. I had to give priority to my work. My work was my priority. Always, even now, I think, my work gets priority for everything.
Great, that's really inspiring, motivational, and I believe that we all are entrepreneurs here, and somehow we are thinking to be entrepreneurs. These are all the entrepreneurial mindsets we are having here, ma'am.
Folks watching online.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Hello everyone. I hope you guys are enjoying the lovely discussion with Madam Sayyida Khaula Mustafa here today, an entrepreneur, a lady behind lots of projects in Abbottabad, and we are very proud of having her here today with us. Ma'am, what is an entrepreneur? What advice you would like to give us, for all these entrepreneurial mindsets sitting here?
Search me. I think if you call me an introvert, which I think I am by default now, when I got into work, I never thought that I'll build this into something, you see. I just had my work and I did my work very honestly. That was it. And then nothing stopped me. You would be surprised to know that until I was in charge of the academy. Just lately I have taken the back burner. It's run by my children now. I never advertised. Never ever advertised. Why? Simply because I thought my work is my advertisement. People should come and advertising means that you tell people that I'm very good, which I thought I was not. So I think that was basically how I alhamdulillah I was blessed with a very good team. They all believed in what I did, and the way we did it, it was not for some paltry gain or for some image gain or for name.
Yeah.
Nothing of the sort. We had that passion of delivering something, to giving back to the society, right? So that passion got me through. And then I never wanted to branch out. I just wanted to have this place of my own, and that would be that. But then circumstances had it that I had to, I went to Swat, the Royal Palace, the royalty, the family was family friends. They wanted to, there was a hotel and they wanted to open up the school. And they were pestering me to come and start at school. And my husband said that, okay, if you're not interested, just go and say it's too far off and don't go and say no to them. But when I went there, I fell in love with that place. I fell in love with that place and I said, I am going to do it whatever it costs. And alhamdulillah, we are doing very well over there.
Great.
Then I started up in Mansehra as well, which was not a very good job chapter. That is my free schools. I have one in Balakot. I have one in parallel in the academy as well. So I think if you want to be successful in life, and please don't measure success by what sort of house you've got and what cars you drive. It's not, for me, that is not the criteria of success. You see? So if you want to be successful, really successful, I think do your job honestly. Do it with passion, do it with your heart, and you'll get results.
Great. Folks, if you want to have any questions, you want to ask the question from Madam Khaula, please do ask a question and we'd love to take the answer from her. Madam, I want you to please tell people online here about the experience you had opened up a school in Balakot during the earthquake. That I really want people to know about it.
After the earthquake, I mean, we wanted to do something. My staff, my children, the students, they kept on saying that we need to do something. I didn't know what to do because the only thing I know is to teach. I'm a teacher basically. So one fine morning, my brother, he calls me from Karachi and says a friend of his coming and Zindagi Trust people, Shahzad Roy. He wants to open up a school and if you are interested. I said, interested? I'm dying. Okay, anyway, they came in the morning and we went with them, myself and two of my colleagues. We went with them to Balakot. They had this camp in Pasiyan, that's the place all the camps were. Then they took us to Mang and then Angarai, the last point up in the mountains. A ride, I can't describe the ride that was, but anyway, we went there, came back. The next day I went again and nothing was happening. The third day I went, nothing was happening. So I asked them, I can't come here daily. there were photo shoots and everything. So I said, I'm not the person. I mean, I don't want to be part of this photo shoots or anything. Just tell me what to do. Where should I start? So there was that General Saab, who was at that time chairman of NAB. He said that how are you going to run it if we start a free school? There has to be something. I said, just let me start. Anyway, cut a long story short. I went up. I wanted to open up in Angrai. That was the last point. But the people of Angrai were not interested.
Opening up a school?
Yes, they were not interested. So I went to the second thing where there was a camp in Man, where I'm right now. I talked to the in charge major there, and Captain Sakib was there. So they promised me that we'll give you some place and a tent or so. So next day, that was the 28th of October. So I was sitting on a rock and admitting the children. The mothers were flocking to me. They wanted their children to be admitted. The condition they were in, I can't explain it to you. So we used to go, it was Ramzan as well, we used to go early in the morning. We were there for the time of assembly. Before 8 we were there. And after the school, I picked up some boys and girls who were either metric or under metric or like that. So we trained them. We started training them. It's okay, we trained you to become teachers. In the evening we used to train them, teach them, and in the morning we used to supervise how they taught. This is how we started. And Alhamdulillah, now then came along, we wanted to build some place. Then there came along a person from England, huge four-wheeler, and he wanted to finance the project. And he said that I'll finance the project beyond your dreams if you follow a certain syllabus. Well, it was a slap on my face. And those who know me, they know that when I lose it completely. So I lost it. And man went off, and I told him that this is, I'm doing it for the sake of Allah. And I'm sure, he said, how are you going to finance it? I said, I don't know. How do I know? It's Allah's project and He's going to do it. And then after a couple of days, there was this Salvation Army who was staying in the hotel of my brother, the same brother who was against my school. So he introduced me to those people, and he said that they want to invest. They went there, they saw the place, and said, okay. And then I told them that I'm not going to take money from them. So you build the school for me. I'll make sure that I have the right people, and if you pay them directly, I don't want to take the money. It is very strange, and that's what the Salvation people, army people said, that this is the only project in the world which we started and finished within 6 months.
What an achievement.
Yes.
Wow.
And then later they told me it was only because you were not after the money. Because wherever we went, people said, okay, give us this money and we are going to do this. And you said, you do it and I'm not concerned with the money. So that is why we did it.
Great.
We have mashallah the school even now there. It's a completely free school. We have 382 children over there.
Mashallah.
The girls and boys who started there, they have done their masters, and in education, the double masters.
So ma'am, you think that those students you took at that time, under matric, you trained them, they struggled, they hard worked, and then they worked with you, they learned. Do you consider them a real teachers?
Yes.
What
I think. Look, Zara, I have very different views about who a teacher should be. You cannot become a teacher by having a degree. You can't. You have to be, either you're a teacher or you're not a teacher.
exactly?
It's simple as that. Teachers are, I mean, I think, would it be vain if I'm saying I'm a born teacher? I am a teacher.
Yes, certainly.
I'm a teacher,
Yes.
that's it. I don't know anything else.
Yes.
So, people who really want to be in this field should be committed. And unfortunately, 99% here, I don't know, I can't say about other, in our city, I'm talking about my own city. 99% of the people are in this field because it was the only option left for them.
That is the
Which
dilemma.
is the tragedy, which is why we are producing what we are.
Yes, agree. Well, we do have a couple of teachers sitting here with us, and I hope you guys are getting motivated and you are trying to, give a quickly and, a very new shape to your profession. I hope that Ma'am Khaula's talk is empowering you people and giving you some motivation to enhance your knowledge and becoming a very good and effective teachers. Ma'am, it's very difficult to run or to be a multitasking person. Certainly, yes, very, very difficult. You, mashallah, amazingly running lots of projects around. You're looking after your family, you're looking to the SOS Children Village, Rajal, Ikra Academy, Abbottabad, Sawat, Mangal, your school, a school at Balakot, and then this girls blind school too. Ma'am, a lady and a leader. What is the common between you?
I hope I won't be accused of being a female chauvinist. But believe me, I've seen women better managers than men. It's a fact. Why? Number one, women are more into, whatever they do it with their heart, you see? And they are very particular that, everything should be done properly, in a proper way. Men, they take it lightly, oh, it's a job. So what's the big deal? So I think women should be, especially in this field, I think women should be more in this field.
Wow.
This is perfect profession for women. You see, in what other field can you enjoy 3 or 4 months off with salary? 5 or 6 hours of work. It's ideal for women.
Okay, let's talk other than teaching profession for women. What about women as an entrepreneur? Women I have seen running dhabas, women I have seen, riding bikes, chinchis, rickshaws, now the pink buses, bus drivers, conductors, lots of things women are doing, ma'am. What would be the message for those women?
I think now the writing is on the wall. You can't hold back the women anymore. No more. You can't do that. And unless and until, unfortunately, our society is so polarized. Two extremes. Yeah. So one extreme wants the women barricaded.
Yes.
The other wants them to be societal. I don't want to use that word, but very, very open and everything, whatever. It has to be somewhere in the middle. And we have to remember that the first person Hazrat Umar appointed to check the market prices and the quality in the bazaar,
Yeah.
that was a
That
lady.
is the lady, yes.
So why should women be kept back? 52, I think it's even more now, percentage of this population should do nothing. And the way this population explosion is taking place, where are we going to end up? Women should come out. They are. I think men should be educated about this. We need, and this is also wrong on the part of, I blame women for this as well, that why can't they teach their sons to be tolerant towards women? I
Very
really
nice
understand that.
human being towards them.
Yes, it's very strange,
Yeah.
but this is how it is, you see. So you can't keep back women now. Inshallah, you will see that women will take their rightful place. And if this goes on, and it will, inshallah.
Inshallah.
You can't turn back the clock now.
Right. Ma'am, one question. Since I have met you, it's been, I know about you since years, but in person, what type of person you are, who you are, that I come across just a couple of months back, and I'm truly honored and privileged that I'm sitting here next to you today. One question that I always wanted to ask you, and I'm sure the rest of these people would love to know about it also. Such a successful person, such a positive person, such a remarkable and a true leader, and whoever we talk about you, they say, oh, Madam Khaula, we don't want to leave her. It's been 8, but this is something amazing about Iqra Academy, that teachers are serving there from 2 decades plus, maybe more than that, and they don't want to leave the institute. And today, these days, it's hard to even survive in an institute for a year. There are so many reasons behind it. So certainly there is a leader behind that a leader, but still, you are not in limelight. You are away from the camera flashlights and stuff. You are not on the social media so active. You do not have your own page that is being run by the moderators and the admins. So we don't hear about much of Khaula Mustafa on social media. Why is it so?
Number one, basically, I'm the first one, and you are interviewing me. Never.
And I believe that we are very, very blessed that you are with us.
We are
Yes.
privileged.
Exactly, we are privileged.
And the only thing is that, as I told you when I started, it was something that very few women here from Abbottabad, locals, had come out in the open, working with men, especially. So deliberately, I kept a low profile. I mean, it's simply that if there had been a scandal to my name, then that would have stopped women coming into the limelight and stopped women from working. That would have stopped them. Okay, look, she did it, and look what happened to her. That sort of an attitude.
That sort of an attitude,
So
yes.
I had to keep a low profile. You wouldn't. Maybe it's it. You keep on calling me an entrepreneur. I've never been to a bank.
Bank comes to you.
Bank comes to you. That is the difference, ma'am. Yes.
Now,
Bank comes
now,
to you. Exactly.
It never did. Don't go to government offices.
Same answer.
Simple. For the simple reason that is how it began. But basically, that thing that you are girls, you have to be a little, modest. You have to be toned down. I think I've still had that, and I don't know.
So to know about that part of you, that was also one of the very, very blessed memories. Ma'am, one last question, because I'm really I'm sure that here are a couple of questions, and the audience would love to ask some questions as well. Last question, ma'am. as the future leaders are sitting here, and leadership is not a cup of tea. What are the leadership skills? It's it's not everyone's cup of tea. No, everybody's entrepreneur. So many people have running up their own setups, but you cannot call a leader to everyone. There is a difference between a leader and a boss. So, what are the leadership skills you think are missing these days, and what message you want to give this youth to become a sustainable leader, a leader who could bring the change in society?
I think the first and the foremost thing is humility. I mean, that is an element now which is fast disappearing now. People have false values. People are ashamed of their own backgrounds, of their roots. That's the worst thing that you can do to your own self. I would say that. So if you are humble, if you treat your employees as an equal, I think that makes a difference. If someone comes and tells me, it's like, oh, you have worked so hard and so this is the fruit of your hard work, I said, no, it's not. I started with my PN Niaz. We started together. He's your life is not like a train, you see, different compartments. This is the first class and this is the air-conditioned compartment. And this is, no, you can't do that. And inherently, every person is good. Inherently, every person is good. So when you're working, you have to overlook so many things in another person. You have to have that patience, that to overlook their person, not their, of course, professional shortcomings, but their personal shortcomings. So as they say in English, that business is business and a cup of tea is a cup of tea. So you don't have to be friends with your employees, but you have to be humble enough to treat them on an equal footing, I would say. That's the least you can do. You have to be, if you have to mingle in their lives, you have to share their problems, you have to share their successes and everything. So that is very important if you want to build up a good team.
In short, a true leader has to be behind every worker to show them that yes, you are with them, you are behind them, and you are supporting them. Well, thank you very much, madam. Thank you very much, ma'am. It was really an honor to be with you today. So, guys, today we have Madam Sayyida Khaula Mustafa with us, a lady with dignity, pride, charming personality, delicacy, and yes, the professionalism. A big round of applause for Madam Sayyida Khaula Mustafa for sharing her wonderful views with us. We have a couple of questions.
Yeah, we do have, because this is a global platform. Madam, once again, on behalf of startup community as a director of Startup Grind Abbottabad chapter powered by Google, I really thank you for coming. It's an honor, it's a privilege, and it's for all of us and people who are watching us globally throughout the world right now. There are a couple of questions that I want to throw it out there. One is, somebody's asking, what keeps you going every morning when you wake up, and what keeps you awake at night?
Wow, what a question!
I think as I just said a little while earlier, that work is my priority. See, in whatever I have to do, I have to do. I must be the first one to be there in my office. If anyone comes after me, that is not the right thing. You see, And that is something which I taught some people with great difficulty. Anyways, and then for me, I sleep my work, I eat my work, I play my work. You name it, you name it. Even if I'm watching a movie, something nice if I see, I say, this can be implied in this. This can be done with that. It's I'm all wrapped up in my work, honestly.
All right.
That is how it is.
There are a bunch of other questions. I'm picking it up, a couple of them that I see very interesting. Where do you see the role of women, especially the women of Abbottabad, where you see more Madam Khaulas, mini Madam Khaulas running around, like in future? How do we get them out? How do we get them to see the bigger picture and take the chance that you did?
I think for me, what I lacked was the exposure. I was a housewife and started all this. I never had any exposure as such. Then, the media and everything is new now. For us, nowadays, I was 18 when black and white TV first came here in Abbottabad. I was 18 at that time. So you can imagine, and TV for 2 hours, and that was also, we just thought that, okay, this is that person, we couldn't see it properly, that's what the television we had. So children have exposure now. I have seen people, my own students grow up. My SWA chapter is run by a girl who came from a very, very backward area and a very poor family. Her aunt was basically, she met me, and she requested me to take her in. So I took that girl in. She stayed with me in a hostel. She finished her studies. Now she's looking up. She went to Swat as a teacher, and now she is the rector there. She runs the whole. You wouldn't believe it. The way she's a young girl in her early 30s. And Zara has met her. The way she runs that place, it's amazing. It's amazing. I couldn't have done better, that I'm telling you. But inshallah, I think there are lots of girls coming up, not only from my own institution, my own daughters, or my granddaughters, but my students from other institutions as well. The girls, they have a lot of potential. They have a lot of potential, and I'm telling you, this century belongs to women.
So one last question is, how can these people join you and some of these social activities that you're doing, how they can get in touch with you? That's the question that folks are asking.
Yeah. They can come, they have, please flash my numbers and all, they can contact me anytime of day or night. They can contact me, and we are going to welcome them with open arms, inshallah.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Do we have any questions from locals here? Because we have mostly people watching this online. So if you have any questions, please ask.
What are the specific traits essential to women's success in your point of view? Specific traits that is essential to women's success. And early on you mentioned that mostly women follow her heart. And we have listened that mostly business run by business and by mind. So how would you compare mind with the heart?
That's a very good question. Very good question indeed. For women, for first thing, that anyone who comes in, working women, I would suggest, I would advise them to be focused. Unless and until a woman is focused on her job, she doesn't set targets for herself, then, our society, there will be so many people, hounding her with one scandal or the other. You have to be very, very consistent about what you are doing and focused on your job, number one. very professional. When you're working, you have to be very professional. It's very important. And as you said that you should follow your heart, but don't forget to take your brains with you. So take your brains with you. And another thing, if I may add, that in the Quran, it's always the heart, sudur, right? And now the science is being proven scientifically that whatever we think, the brain, that comes from the heart. So follow your heart.
Exactly. Yes. Do we have any other questions, guys?
With this, it's a wrap.
Can I ask a question? Like every person has some hard times in their professional life. So women are being soft and bit impulsive. So how a woman should handle that hard times?
As I said, when you're working, you can't afford to be impulsive. Number one, you must be very focused. Number one. But then there are hard times. You have to. It's very important to hold your head high. We should be bothered. Number one, I mean, you are, mashallah, threshold of your careers, and you are a young girl. You must understand that do what is right. Forget what others are saying. If you go after people, that so such and such person is going to say this, I do that, or such and such person is advising me not to do this because this is going to happen. No, be focused. Of course, you listen to advices and everything, but as I said, follow your heart. But the only thing is, it's very, very important that you sort of blank yourself out with what people are going to say. Let them say whatever they want. They'll say. They are bound to say something or the other. So let them say. If you are right, you should be bothered. But and that is the best way to tackle it. And have faith. Have faith. That's very important.
Right, with due permission, I would like to end it up what Ma'am Khaula just answered the question in Urdu. There are two lines of Urdu that very, very, effectively relate to this. Dunya kab chup rehti hai? Kehne de jo kehti hai. So this is the answer of your question in Urdu. Thank you very much, ma'am. Thank you very much. I, on behalf of Startup Grind Abbottabad chapter, on behalf of our director, Mr. Umar Farooq, on behalf of the whole team, I truly thank you. Your presence here, that was a lovely grace, and you graced this event today. And I am really thankful to all the audience who is sitting here and the ones who are watching us online and listening to us. Thank you very much. And I second the thoughts here today. Yes, the ladies in Abbottabad are taking forward the legacy that Madam Khaula Mustafa has started years back. The consistency, persistence, positivity, and yes, we can do it. So thank you very much for being a wonderful audience today with us. That is all from us today. Stay tuned. See you inshallah in the next program. Thank you very much.